The Atharvaveda, hymn 637, 3 verses. Hitherward, having yoked his steeds, came imprecation, thousand-eyed, seeking my cursor, as a wolf the home of one who owneth sheep. Avoid us, imprecation, as consuming fire avoids the lake. Smite thou the man who curses us, as the sky's lightning strikes the tree. Who curses us, himself uncursed are cursed. Who curses us again, him cast I, as a sop to death, as to a dog one throws a bone. And I wonder what the term is for imprecation, because in general, what's treated as the name of deity or whatever, we're not translating that here. I think they should do both, have the name and what it means. In English, we used to know what our names meant. Hymn 638, 3 verses. What energy the lion hath, the tiger, adder, and burning fire, Brahman Arsarya, and the blessed goddess who gave birth to Indra, come unto us, conjoined with strength and vigor, all energy of elephant and panther, all energy of gold, men, kind, and waters, and the blessed goddess who gave birth to Indra, came unto us, conjoined with strength and vigor, might in car, axles, in the strong bull's courage, in Varuna's breath, in Vata and Parjanya, in warrior, in the war drum, stretched for battle, in the man's roar, and in the horse's mettle. May the blessed goddess who gave birth to Indra come unto us, conjoined with strength and vigor. And in context there, we're seeing all these ins because we're talking about, but what does it mean to call something a goddess? What does it mean to say that goddess gave birth to God? Maybe we might not use the words God and goddess in English. 639, 3 verses. Let sacrifice like fame, drive sped by Indra, inspired, well ordered, with 1,000 powers, to highest rank, raise me, who bring oblation, me who move forth to far extended vision. We will pay sacrifice and serve with worship our glorious Indra. Famous for his glories, give thou us sway, which Indra hath promoted, and in this boon of thine, may we be famous. Indra was glorious at his birth. Agna, Soma were born renowned, and glorious am I, the most illustrious of all that is. Now, some of these 1,000 named things, are recitable. But in general, one of the ideas that comes through is that it's beyond that of the creations. Hymn 640, 3 verses. Here may we dwell, O heaven and earth, in safety. May Sevatar and Soma send us safety. Our safety be the wide air. Ours be the safety through the oblation of the 7 Rishis. May the 4 quarters give this hamlet power. Set a power fit for us and make us happy. May Indra make us free from foes and danger. May wrath of kings be turned to other places. Make thou us free from enemies, both from below and from above. O Indra, give us perfect peace, peace from behind and from before. So behind in reference to your past, and before in reference to your future, perhaps. Of course, spatially, we're referring to that. But there's a difference between favor and enjoyment. Hymn 641, 3 verses. For mind, for intellect, for thought, for purpose, for intelligence, for sense, for hearing, and for sight, let us adore with sacrifice, for expiration, vital air and breath, that amply nourishes. Let us with sacrifice adore Saraswati, whose reach is wide. Let not the riches, the divine, forsake us, our own, our very selves, our lives' protectors. Do ye, immortals, still attend us mortals, and give us vital power to live the longer. Hymn 642, 3 verses. I loose the anger from thy heart, as 'twere the bowstring from a bow, that we, one-minded now, may walk together as familiar friends. Together let us walk as friends. Thy wrathful feeling I remove. Beneath a heavy stone we cast thy wrath away and bury it. I trample on thine anger thus. I tread it down with heel and toe. So dost thou yield thee to my will, to speak no more rebelliously. And it's easier to not mess up than to undo, the ill feelings that stir up. Hymn 643, 3 verses. For stranger and for friend alike, this darba grass removeth wrath. Soother of anger it is called, because it calms the angry man. This plant that hath abundant roots spreads to the place where waters meet. Soother of anger is the name darba grass that springs from earth. We draw thine obstinacy forth, set in thy mouth and in thy jaw. So dost thou yield thee to my will, to speak no more rebelliously. And if we don't rebel against what we should be upon, well, then we can ask that of others. Hymn 644, 3 verses. Firm stood the heaven, firm stood the earth, firm stood this universal world. Firm stood the trees that sleep erect. Let this thy melody be still. Of all thy 100 remedies, 1,000 remedies combined, this is the surest cure for flux, most excellent to heal disease. Thou art the stream that Rudra pours, the closest kin of Amrita. Thy name is called Vishanaka. Thou springest from the Father's root, removing illness caused by wind. And, well, airborne disease, or the temperature or environmental issues leading to weaknesses that allow a person to be ill when they would otherwise not be. Hymn 645, 3 verses. Sin of the mind, avaunt be gone. Why sayest thou what none should say? Go hence away, I love thee not. Go to the forest and the trees. My heart is in our homes and cows. Whatever wrong we have committed, sleeping, our waking, by ill wish, dislike our slander, all these offenses which deserve displeasure, may Agni take from us and keep them distant. Indra and Brahmaspati, whatever foolish deed we plan, may Provident Angarasa preserve us from the sin and woe. And people think that sin is the way to enjoying life. But even the desire are the focus on sin that a person would want, can definitely bring about the unpleasantness of life. Hymn 646, 3 verses. Thou neither quick nor dead, O sleep, art fraught with Amrita. Of the gods thy name is Araru, thy sire is Yama. Varunani bear thee. We know thy birth, O sleep. Thou art son of the sisters of the gods, the minister of Yama thou. Thou art Antaka, thou art death. So well we know thee, who thou art. Sleep, guard us from evil dream, as men discharge a debt, as they pay up an eighth and half an eighth. So the whole evil dream do we pay and assign unto our foe. Let us be careful to how we attribute and interpret our dreams. Hymn 647, 3 verses. Dear to all men, all prosper, all creating, may Agni guard us at the morn's libation. May he, the brightly pure one, give us riches. May we have life, enjoying food together. At this, our second offering, may Indra, Marutas, and Visvadevas never fail us. Still may the favor of the gods, be with us, blessed with long life and speaking words that please them. We pour this third oblation of the sages, who fashioneth forth the cup in proper order. Winners of heaven, may they, Sudhanvan's children, lead our fair sacrifices to happy fortune. And well, the sages do offer oblation, but here the word is libation. Hymn 648, 3 verses. Thou art the hawk, Gayatri's lord. I hold thee fast, happily bear me to the goal of this my sacrifice. All hail. Thou art the Ripu, lord of Jagati. I hold thee fast, happily bear me to the goal of this my sacrifice. All hail. Thou art the bull, the Trishtub's lord. I hold thee fast, happily bear me to the goal of this my sacrifice. All hail. Now, is it more like hail all? Is it more like come join in this ritual expression that I'm doing? Or is it just declaring the supremacy of it? Hymn 649, 3 verses. O Agni, in thy body man hath never found a wounded part. The ape devours the arrow shaft, as a cow eats her afterbirth. Thou, like a fleece, contractest and expandest thee. What time the upper stone that below devour, closely compressing head with head and breast with breast, he crunches up the tendrils with his yellow jaws. The eagles have sent forth their voice aloud to heaven. In the sky's vault, the dark impetuous ones have danced. When they come downward to repair the lower stone, they, dwellers with the sun, have gained abundant seed. Something coming down from the starry heavens with tendrils. Sort of sounds Lovecraftian, doesn't it? Hymn 650, 3 verses. Destroy the rat, the mole, the boring beetle. Cut off their heads and crush their ribs, O Athens. Bind fast their mouths, let them not eat or barley. So guard ye twain our growing grain from danger. Ho, boring beetle, ho, thou worm, ho, noxious grub and grasshopper. As a priest leaves the unfinished sacrifice, go hence, devouring not, injuring not this grain. Hearken to me, lord of the female borer, lord of the female grub, ye rough-toothed vermin, whatever ye be, dwelling in the woods, and piercing, we crush and mangle all those piercing insects. Now, of course, we couple our prayers with actions, mouse traps, plants that can deter insects and rats and various things. Hymn 651, 3 verses. Cleansed by the filter of the wind comes Soma, past all our enemies. Meet friend of Indra. May the maternal waters make us ready. Cleanse us with fatness. They who cleanse with fatness, goddesses bear off each blot and tarnish. I come forth from the waters cleansed and stainless. O Varuna, whatever the offense may be, the sin which men commit against the heavenly folk, when through our want of thought we violate thy laws, punish us not, O God, for that iniquity. Now, some of our mistakes, we're not going to know what they are. At least not at the time. Hymn 652, 3 verses. Slaying the Rakshasas, the sun mounts upward in the front of heaven. Aditya from the mountains, scene of all destroying things unseen. The kine had settled in their pen. Wild animals sought their lairs. The wavelets of the brooks had passed away and were beheld no more. I have brought Kanva's famous plant, life-giving and itself inspired. The medicine that healeth all, may it suppress my hidden foes. And there may be influences that you are completely unaware of. Are things having an impact on you? Otherwise, hymn 653, 3 verses. May heaven and earth wise pair, may lofty Sukra grant me this thing, by reason of the Girdan. May Agna Soma mark through this libation. May Vayu, Savitar, and Bhaga guard us. Again return to us our breath and spirit. Again come back to us our life and vision. Vaisvanara, unsheathed, our body's guardian, stand between us and every woe and danger. We are again united with our bodies and happy mind. With spirit, strength, and splendor, make the Bashtar here make room for us, and freedom and smooth whate'er is injured in our bodies. Hymn 654. Win the love of Indra, that his friend may reach yet higher state. Increase as rain the grass, this man's dominion and his lofty fame. Confirm the princely power in him. Agna and Soma grant him wealth. In all the circuit of his rule, make him yet higher for your friend, the man who shows us enmity, whether a stranger or a kin, that will give up entire to me, who sacrifice and press the juice. And there's the difference between the inner and the outer, and the external and, our body. And let's take things further than this, servant master stuff, and move on to the friend stage of relationship with divinity. Hymn 655, 3 verses. Of all the many God-frequented pathways that traverse realms between the earth and heaven, consign me, all ye gods, to that which leadeth the perfect and inviolable safety. Maintain us in well-being summer, winter dew time, and spring, autumn, and rainy season. Give us our share of cattle and of children. May we enjoy your unassailed protection. Pay to the year your lofty adoration, to the first year, the second, and the present. Many we abide in the auspicious favor and gracious love of these who claim our worship. And pathways, So if we have 7 spheres, the sun and the moon, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, we have 21 pathways in between them. If each one is connected to the others, without the in between, you could say. And so then some would say there's a pathway to the greater heavens and a pathway below. So the pathway to earth is generally regarded as just one, or sometimes 3. It depends on how people divide these things, but Hymn 656, 3 verses. Let not the serpent slay us, O gods, with our children and our folk. Let it not close the open mouth, nor open that which now is closed. Be worship paid unto the black, worship to that with stripes across. To the brown viper, reverence, reverence to the demon brood. I close together fangs with fang. I close together jaws with jaw. I close together tongue with tongue. I close together mouth with mouth. And polytheist culture tends to have something where they worship the demons in one way or another to appease them just enough so that they don't hurt you or something. The goat cast off, or Azazel, or, In 657, 3 verses. This is a medicine indeed. Rudra's own medicine is this, wherewith he warns the arrow off one shafted with 100 tips. Besprinkle it with anodyne. Bedew it with relieving balm. Strong soothing is the medicine. Bless us therewith, that we may live. Let it be health and joy to us. Let nothing vex or injure us. Down with the wound. Let all to us be balm. The whole be medicine. Healing is available all around, but how will we have our healing? Hymn 658, 3 verses. May Indra Bhagavan give me name and glory. May heaven, earth, this couple make me famous. May Savitar the deity make me honored. Here may the man who gives the guerdon love me. Indra from heaven and earth receiveth glory. Among the plants, the waters have their glory. Even so may we be glorious amid all the universal gods. Indra and Agni were renowned. Famous was Soma at his birth. So too am I, illustrious, most glorious of all that is. Now, we can look at things and aspire in a non-vicarious sense. Hymn 659, 3 verses. First, O Arundhati, protect our oxen and milky kine. Protect each one that is infirm, each quadruped that yields no milk. Let the plant give us sheltering aid, Arundhati, allied with gods, unfallen angels, avert consumption from our men, and make our cowpen rich in milk. I welcome the auspicious plant, life-giving, wearing every hue. Far from our cattle, may it turn the deadly dart which Rudra casts. And, of course, the drinking of cow's milk is not something that most people can do with good health. But, we can understand these things in the terms of our material culture. Now, I know in the country that I live, most people consume things like dairy, which they can't properly digest, and other issues with what they're consuming. Hymn 663 verses. With a forelock loosened over his brow, here comes the wooer of the bride, seeking a husband for this maid, a wife for this unmarried man. Wooer, this girl hath toiled in vain, going to others' marriages. Now to her wedding, verily, wooer, another maid shall come. Datar upholds the spacious earth, upholds the sky, upholds the sun. Datar bestow upon this maid a husband suited to her wish. Now, by girl, I'm sure they just mean a woman under 30 or something. Hymn 660, or youth. Youth is probably the better word. Hymn 661, 3 verses. The waters send me what is sweet and pleasant. Sura bring all I need for light and vision. The deities and all of pious nature, and Savitar, the god, afford me freedom. I set the heaven and the earth asunder. I brought all 7 seasons into being. My word is truth. What I deny is falsehood. Above celestial Vak, above the nations, I gave existence to the earth and heaven. I made the seasons and the 7 rivers. My word is truth. What I deny is falsehood. I who rejoice in Agnes, so much friendship. Hymn 662, 3 verses. Cleanse us, Vaisvanara, with rays of splendor. With breath and clouds, let quickening Vayu cleanse us. And rich in milky rain, let earth and heaven, worshipful, holy, cleanse us with their water. Lay hold on Sunrita, whose forms and regions have fair, smooth backs, her who is all men's treasure. Through her may we in sacrificial banquets, singing her glory, be the lords of riches. For splendor seize on her whom all men worship, becoming pure yourselves, and bright and brilliant, here through our prayer, rejoicing in the banquet. Long may we look upon the sun ascending. And we can use the descending of the sun and other celestial bodies. Well, I mean, our perspective of it ascending and descending. But there certainly is a power in focusing on the ascending that's different from that. Hymn 663, 4 verses. That collar round thy neck, not to be loosened, which Nirata, the goddess, bound and fastened. I loose for thy long life and strength and vigor. Eat liberated food that brings no sorrow. To thee, sharp-pointed Nirata, be homage. Loose thou the binding fetters, wrought of iron. To me in truth again doth Yama give thee. To him to Yama, yea, to death, be homage. Compassed by death, which comes in 1,000 manners, here art thou, fastened to the iron pillar, unanimous with Yama and the fathers. Make this man rise and reach the loftiest heaven. Thou mighty Agni, good and true, gatherest up all precious things, bring us all treasures, as thou art enkindled at libation's place. Now, at what point did they start making steel with all that? And there are some almost miraculous iron rods in places in India and Pakistan. I mean, they're obviously human made, but there's things about them that's like, how do they even do that? As in, like, we can't even do that. And 664, 3 verses. Agree and be united. Let your minds be all of one accord, even as the gods of ancient days, unanimous, await their share. The reed is common the assembly, common the law, so be their thoughts united. I offer your general oblation. Together entertain one common purpose. One and the same be your resolve. Be all your hearts in harmony. One and the same be all your minds. At all may happily consent. Now, the communion of saints, well, that connects to the idea of unity and all that stuff. And I wonder just how much polytheism happens because of ambiguity in language becoming something. It's like, well, you don't, summon them up and talk with them or something. What you do is you're just asserting your unity and purpose and all that. Hymn 665, 3 verses. The angry spirit hath relaxed. Loose are the arms that act with mind. Do thou, destroyer, overcome and drive these foemen's might away, and then bring opulence to us, the shaft for handless fiends, which gods ye cast against the handless ones. With this, in shape of sacrifice, I rend the arms of enemies. Indra made first for Asuras, the shaft designed for handless foes. Victorious shall my heroes be with Indra as their constant friend. Handless be every foeman who assaileth. They who with missiles come to fight against us, dash them together with great slaughter. Indra and let the robber chief run, pierced with arrows. Ye who run hither, bending bows, brandishing swords, and casting darts, handless be ye, O enemies. Let Indra mangle you today. Handless be these, our enemies. We innervate their languid limbs, so let us part among ourselves. In hundreds Indra, all their wealth. And so the victory in battle and such will be represented beforehand. In 667, 3 verses. Indra and Pushan have gone forth along the ways on every side. Today those hosts of enemies must flee bewildered far away. Ye foes come hitherward, dismayed like serpents. When their heads are gone, let Indra slay each bravest one of you whom Agni hath confused. Gird thou a bullock's hide on these. Make those as timid as the deer. Let the foe flee away, and let his kind come hitherward to us. And so some things we want to attract, some things we want to repel, some things we want to control. Hymn 668, 3 verses. Savitar hath come hither. With the razor come thou, O Vayu. With the heated water, one-minded let Adityas, Rudras, Vasus moisten the hair. Shave ye, who know King Soma. Let Aditya shave the beard, and let the waters bathe it with their strength. Prajapata restore his health for sight, and days of lengthened life. The razor used by Savitar for shaving who knoweth Varuna and royal Soma. Even with this shave ye this man. O Brahman, let him be rich in horses, kine, and children. Now, I don't see anywhere the idea of men shaving their face outside of the polytheist traditions. Hymn 669, 3 verses. Mine be the glory in the hill, in vales, in cattle, and in gold. Mine be the sweetness that is found in nectar and in flowing wine. With your delicious honey balm me, Aspen's lords of splendid light, that clear and resonant may be the voice I utter to mankind. In me be strength, in me be fame, in me be the power of sacrifice. Prajapata, establish this in me as firm as light in heaven. And these rituals and the good deeds that we can perform and all that stuff, there are powers that we are given. Hymn 670. 3 verses. As wine associates with flesh, as dice attend the gaming board, as an enamored man's desire is firmly set upon a dame, so let thy heart and soul, O cow, be firmly set upon thy calf. As the male elephant pursues with eager step his female's track, as an enamored man's desire is firmly set upon a dame, so let thy heart and soul, O cow, be firmly set upon the calf. Close as the felly and the spoke, fixed as the wheel rim on the nave, as an enamored man's desire is firmly set upon a dame, so let thy heart and soul, O cow, be firmly set upon thy calf. Hymn 671, 3 verses. What food I eat of varied form and nature, food whether gold or horse, sheep, goat, or bullock, whatever gift I have received, may Agni the Hotar make it sacrifice well offered. Whatever sacrificed or not hath reached me, bestowed by men and sanctioned by the fathers, whereby my heart seems to leap up. May Agni the Hotar make that sacrifice well offered. What food I eat unjustly, gods are doubtful between bestowing and refusing swallow. Through greatness of Vaisvanara, the mighty, may that same food be sweet to me and blessed. And a person can say that there is charity due on, whatever we have. Hymn 672, 3 verses. Sikut anguis niger at voluntatem se extendit asurarum art magica formas novus efficiens sic fascinum tuum partem cum parte conjunctum hic hymnus efficiet velut penis Deodaras quem ventus permagnum fecit quantus est ungri penis tantus penis tuus incriscat quantum estonagre membrum masculinum edifante asinique quantum est fortis eque tantus penis tuus increscat. And my Latin's not too good. So something black, and of course we're having the sexual reference, and that's why it was left out as far as what it is. But it wasn't left out to the point where no translation. So anybody knows what that Latin means, feel free to comment